Kimberly Spire O.
Here I am, yes.
Okay, Dr. Deborah Robinson. She will not be here today. Marcus Brown.
Good morning.
Morning. Mariana Blanco.
Good morning.
Morning. And Dr. Cassandra. Okay, we have a quorum.
Okay, great. So we're pulling up the document right now, and our goal today is just to get it ready to present to the entire DEC.
Correct.
I'm going to sign in upstairs, so I'll be right back.
Okay.
Good morning, guys.
I'm pulling it up now. Mr. Oswald's going to sign in upstairs, so
Okay.
1 second. Give me 1 second. Oh, wait, let me sign into the meeting first. Call for public comment. Okay, check. There's no public comment.
Thank you. I'm just holding off because I think it's easier if we look at the document together.
Yes, I'm gonna do it now. Jonathan, can you stop sharing? Or am I using that computer?
Go ahead and take it over.
Okay.
Share. It'll just stop sharing on this one.
All right. Let me pull up the document. What was it called? Keith. Let me just put Keith's name in it. Okay, there it is. All right. And then meet, and then share, and then share. And then view. I'm gonna make it just a little bit bigger for you guys.
I can see it okay, but yeah, that's good.
Is that
That's
better?
great. Yes.
Dr. Thaddeus, Corbin Thaddeus is on. Hi, good morning, Dr. Corbin Thaddeus.
Good morning.
Morning, ladies and gentlemen. How are you all?
Hanging in there.
Morning. Morning.
It's Friday Eve.
Good morning.
Morning.
Oh, yeah.
Makes it better.
Oh, okay. Oh, I'm having, I don't know. Feedback.
I will turn off my sound, I guess.
The microphone on as well as the microphone on the computer. So what I did is I added some mid-year disciplinary data onto the form, as well as some attendance data. I gotta go back here. All right. So I added some mid-year disciplinary data as well as some attendance data. So I don't know what we want to keep and what we want to take away. So go ahead and review that and how you want that worded. Can everyone see it? Do I need to make it bigger?
Yes.
Yes. No, we can see it.
On this one, I want to get Dr. Corbin Thaddeus's thoughts before sharing anything.
Kimberly, can you repeat that? I'm sorry.
Can I jump in for a
I
second?
wanted to get your thoughts on this section.
Keith, were you going to say something?
Yeah, so today, I think all we really wanted to do was make sure that we go through just each of the recommendations for approval. I think this part with the data, Janina, will come later after we tease out in our last meeting. I don't know if you were at that one. We would tease out each of those with more details, but the general recommendations that get approved by the larger DDC to
Right.
move forward to the board, and this part would come after.
Okay. So you want me to remove this from this form, from this particular?
Well, I think we gotta take the one with some of the yellow highlights and just go through one more time. We were pretty much there, but at our last meeting, we said, let's just go through one more time prior to the 10 o'clock before it gets presented.
So we'll start with that.
At least that was my understanding.
Yeah.
I think that's right, Keith. And I would say, Ms. Simmons, can we, when we get to the data piece, one of the data points would be the percentage of Black male students who are in advanced placement classes.
Okay.
So, but that's later, but that's one data point that I'd like to have included.
Okay.
I would say advanced placement, IB, and all of that, all of those.
Yeah, yeah. If I say advanced placement courses, does that include all that? Does that mean just one thing? Because I always get confused about that language.
There's
Yeah,
some-
It's called accelerated courses, and so that would
Yes,
include
that are
advanced
AP.
that includes
That's the umbrella.
That includes advanced placement, dual enrollment, IB.
IB.
That would include all of those courses.
Okay, accelerated
Courses.
Thank you.
Does that also include ACE?
Yes.
Great. That's my request then.
Okay. So are we not including the disciplinary data, the attendance data? Because
Possibly put that as an attachment.
okay. So I'm gonna remove this. Okay. So the highlighted parts were like Keith's notes. And so what I did is he put student-led voice in parentheses and he highlighted it. I just moved it up and said launches and maintains a student voice-led media campaign. Am I unhighlighting that?
Meaning unhighlighting and keeping it?
Yes.
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 So I didn't change any wording. I just kind of created bullet points where Keith had where he had it in parentheses. So and pull it in bullet points. So he said team to work out details on how to use database, what CBO would be part of the database, community-based organizations would be part of the database, and define engage. Are we doing that now in this meeting, or would that be something that DDEC would be doing as a whole?
Kimberly, do you want to, I thought that was something we were going to do like a next step.
Yes. What I was about to say, I'm sorry, I was on mute, is do we want to put this at the bottom of the document with next steps, and list these, or just put it on a separate document for us to remember?
So what I could do is I could do next steps, because this would be a next steps for this particular bullet point, I believe.
Right.
And then,
But put it out, take it outside of this part of the document.
what do you mean?
Do you all agree that we just have this document and then we have like the next steps at the bottom separate, and this document just flows with the main language that we worked on? What do you all think?
I think that,
Yeah, I think that would make sense.
reasonable. I agree with that.
Okay, that was 3 people talking. So what did you say, Marcus? And then I believe somebody, and Mariana, or was it Mariana and Marcus that were talking? So what did you say, Marcus?
I said I would agree with what Kimberly said.
Okay, so we're taking it out of this document.
And just having it as an attachment.
Okay,
And the way we do it is could be like point one and then point two, so we know which one goes or which like work out details on how to use the database. So bullet point one, bullet point two, so we know what they're talking about since we're taking it out.
okay, so let's do this. I'm gonna make a copy.
Okay.
And I'm just gonna leave it over in the copy for right now. And I'm just gonna take it out of here.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. All right, and so I left the highlighted thing there, the highlighted statement from Mr. Oswald there that says, have they been created? I didn't know what he was talking about. Was he talking about the environments?
I think so.
So were we supposed to figure out if the environments have been created? Or are we supposed to investigate that?
I think next steps, once we get the main language approved, then we're going to be studying whether these environments have been created at certain schools or district-wide, kind of explore what has been done and what needs to be done. So we take it out here and put it on our to-do list for point number 2, I believe. Which we can do later. So we'll just take it out for now. Does everyone agree?
Right, I'm just putting it on the copy.
Right, thank you.
Okay. I just didn't want to take out the,
Absolutely, I agree. Okay.
all right, and then this one was create an ongoing advisory of SBMS to foster open dialogue. And then it had issue solutions, ongoing and two-way street. So I'm gonna leave that on the copy, right? Or are we leaving this on this document?
I'm wondering if we put a second sentence that said this dialogue could include issues, comma, solutions, ongoing.
It should be a dialogue.
Okay,
Go ahead, Marcus.
I was just saying, can we leave it like it is?
Yeah.
okay, so just leave it like it is?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then unhighlight, right?
Right.
All right.
Would we need to capitalize or am I being too much of an editor?
No, that's fine. What I did is all I did was remove the parentheses.
I know, I'm just asking the group. You are taking what we created, but I'm asking our own edit. Okay.
Do we want to use two-way street, or do we want to replace that with collaboration or collaborative effort, or do we still want to use two-way street?
When we're talking about communication and dialogue, I think two-way street applies more because we want the students to talk to the administrators and the administrators to talk to the students.
Okay,
Does everyone agree?
Yes.
okay,
Mhm.
all right. And then CEU, that stays the same. There was no highlight. Presentations on SBMS. What is the intent? What are the post-presentation actions? Are we leaving that? Or?
Those were questions that Keith was asking.
So what is the intent of the presentations?
To educate them and probably initiate kind of work on that issue. But Dr. Corbin Thaddeus, I'm going to ask you.
I really appreciate this question because I'd love to ensure that it goes beyond awareness to some action. And I think we just have to think about what what is some, like, I always call these like mini moves that folks can do without it feeling like one more thing to do. And I think that's something that I'd like to kind of flush out here, just thinking about, yeah.
So I'm gonna,
So I don't,
go ahead, I'm sorry, Dr. Corbin Thaddeus.
I was just gonna say, I don't have the specifics, but I definitely want, just to ensure that there's some mini moves and actions folks can take.
So I'm gonna remove it from this document. I just wanna
Yeah.
make sure that we get through the document before Marcus, leaves us at 9.
Okay.
So, I'm gonna remove it from this document and leave it on the copy document. And that gives us an opportunity to address that at a, later.
Dr. Corbin Thaddeus, did you want to kind of build this out a little bit on this document though? Or no?
You mean today,
Yeah.
Kimberly? No, no, I want to get through the first phase. And then
Okay.
we can come back to that.
All right, thank you.
And I get that, Dr. Corbin Thaddeus, because I think that is going to take, some data and
Yeah.
some data and what is needed. Like what do we really need in the district for that,
Yeah.
right?
And what already might be present that we can leverage.
Right. Okay. All right. Okay, here we are. This is the multi-level community-wide approach. This was the one about the bumper stickers, social media, PSAs, honor societies, videos. So
We can take this off and it'll just be kind of clarification for ourselves when we're trying to work on the next step.
take these off.
Do you all agree? Or do we leave it?
I really like that I see myself kind of,
I would
Okay.
like to leave it.
Okay,
I would like to leave it at this. I'd say at this point, what we have, I think, is great. And I think that the less we can make edits. But I think that the talking points and things that we have, the structure that we have, is sound. And the thing I like about it is that, and just from hearing this meeting and previous meetings, if the DDEC as a whole has specific questions on certain parts of this presentation, each of us or all of us can answer the questions as we go along because we know what we meant when we put it together.
true.
So I'd say leave it together and let it flow.
all right. And the other one was the training on behavioral health professionals. There's nothing in highlighted for that one. And then the next one was professional development for teachers on creating classroom environments.
And then that's it.
And that's it. So is there anything that should be, so I heard that Marcus made the suggestion that instead of it being bulleted, we should number it.
No, that's not correct. We can leave it bulleted.
Okay.
No, I was saying that the format is fine. Everything that's been built so far by this subcommittee is solid. And real quickly, if I could lend to, I think a question was being asked about the purpose. I was trying to type it in the chat, but I can't.
It won't let you type in the
Purpose.
chat?
I was working on an attempt at explaining the purpose of this presentation because I think that question was asked. Unless
Yeah.
that would have been flushed out.
I think,
No,
go ahead.
it was asked. You're right.
Okay, so the purpose of this presentation, I would say, is to bring awareness to the success levels or the educational success of Black male students throughout Palm Beach County, and to provide solutions that will encourage their success, specifically inclusivity, feeling respected in the class, and being heard. That's a stat.
Beautiful.
That's beautiful. Did you happen to type it anywhere so we can put it in?
Yeah.
No, I'm gonna type it now.
Okay, perfect.
Perfect.
We love it.
So we can add that.
Yes. And I really appreciate that, Marcus, because there is a unintentional tendency to lean toward the deficit based data and language and conversation. And in this case, that's not what we are up to, right? We are actually looking at the Black male students who are thriving, who are achieving academically, and that's what we want to promote. So I really appreciate you putting that out there.
That was kind of my concern about the stats in this particular document, is that we're trying to emphasize positives, and some of those stats did not make me feel that positive. It's like a lot of work to be done. So if we make it an attachment, it's not part of we are trying to increase the positives and not, we are trying to decrease the negatives, but we're focusing on the positive, or at least that's what I thought.
Yeah,
Alright.
that's right. It's good to have that in the background,
As an attachment.
because there are always going to be people who are there, even though we're not, and they might need that. So we could just have it, like you said, as an attachment.
Oh, I think it's very valuable, but I didn't want to lead with that.
No, it was more there for,
I
I
agree.
think, to what you were saying, Dr. Thaddeus, for those who are like coming from a place of ignorance and don't understand.
Right. Why are we working on this?
Yeah.
Okay. Yay, team.
So what I'd like to try to do is to have Susan email this out to the rest of the DDC. It is on the agenda to come to for a vote. So I'm assuming, Kim, that, I don't know, I think you're the chair, right?
Yes.
That you would go through it and then look for someone to bring the recommendation to bring this forward, right, to the board,
Right.
district leadership.
Can we leave it up or have the ability to pull it up when we're discussing that? So that even though people have their own copies, if they're on their phone or whatever, we have
Yeah.
it up.
Yeah, we'll pull it up when we come to that part.
Okay, great.
Does that work for everybody?
Yeah, and Keith, is this just a presentation to the committee, or is this a discussion?
We did pretty deep discussion last time.
Mhm.
And ended up taking kind of the whole agenda, right? So
Yeah,
which
that's what I was
good.
trying to avoid.
I don't think I think it's any clarifying question, not really a presentation, but these are the recommendations. We tweaked them, right? We went through them, the subcommittee, over
Right.
the course of last month. And to see if there's really any questions. I don't think we have to fully present.
Hey, everyone, I put an attempt at purpose in the chat. So if anybody wants to copy that, you can certainly massage that if you like. But I just wanted to contribute that and we can build from that.
Where do we want that in the proposal?
At the top.
beginning.
At
At the beginning.
Yeah.
Before the ad hoc committee or after the ad hoc committee? Paragraph.
I would say after.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be great.
I like that so much.
So does that work for everybody?
Yes.
All right, then you get, unless there's anything else, you all get like an hour and 4-minute break.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, team. This was great.
Appreciate it, everyone.
Bye.
Oh, then real quick. So they say yes, this goes to the board. So we bring it to the board. I think to the board would be a reference in the chair's comments, but I think probably via me or probably via the chair, that they obviously get it emailed to them. And I
Right.
can provide hard copies as well through the board office. So if we can try to bring that up as a recommendation too,
Okay.
so that they get a hard copy too, so that kind of force some don't read emails. Maybe if the recommendation includes a hard copy through the board office.
Yes.
Keith, is this, what's the timeline for the board, going to the board?
Well, the next board meeting is the 17th of April. So
Okay.
it'll go then, and it'll be in the, assuming that
When is the next
the
meeting
DC
for
gives
that?
full approval, it'll be in the chair's report as well. And then if anybody wants to come and sign up to speak to it,
They're not meeting before the DDEC?
you all could sign up to speak as well if you wanted to,
Why would-
obviously.
Okay.
Okay, so I have a question. So we tentatively have a meeting on April 24th, which is the Wednesday, before the DDEC meeting. I don't know why wouldn't we meet the morning of? Oh, okay, so which is the morning of, before DDEC?
Because DDC isn't on the 25th because we had to move the meeting.
Right, so we're meeting on the 24th, the morning of. So are we still meeting on the 24th?
So this would have gone to the board
On which date?
the 17th, so that would have all been done. I think it would be then,
So
what is the role of the DDC after it gets approved and sent to the board? Do we have a subcommittee that's going to work on trying to operationalize some of this? To work with district staff? Or is the recommendation, so I think the recommendation is going to be kind of important, is it the board and district leadership, I'm just talking out loud to, I hope I'm not bringing sunshine, talk about what a recommendation might look like.
So-
But the board and district leadership to work on these recommendations for the school district of Palm Beach County to,
Are you talking yourself through this, or are you talking to us?
I'm talking to you all to think about what because depending on what happens on the 24th depends on how the recommendation is stated. So is the recommendation that they support, operationalize, work with DDC? I'm just thinking out loud.
For the board, what we're asking of the board, is that what you're asking?
Correct. So we want them, what is it, what is the ask of the board? So the DDC recommends, they approve to bring this to the board, these recommendations.
Right.
So is it just, I think we need a verb, right? An
Yeah,
action.
maybe at the bottom of the document, we ask the board to, I would say, operationalize where we're working with staff, because they wouldn't get into the nitty gritty, would they? The board members?
No, so is it to support, we're asking the board and district leadership to support these recommendations?
Yes. And
Do you understand where I'm trying to go? I'm just trying to think what that word.
to support these recommendations, now, can they operationalize and give an order to staff to work with us, or how? I don't know what is allowed or what can be
Well,
done.
they can give feedback to the superintendent to support this work. You know, they can't. they're not going to be obviously, because this is just a board report, and even they can't take essentially from an elected official, you would be asking them to support this work, and
Okay,
district, and the recommendation could be to the superintendent or district leadership as well to support and work to operationalize this work and to collaborate
And
with
then,
GDC.
So
And then
to
if that goes
support-
out,
To
do-
support, operation, what he said? Operate.
Hang on, Dr. Thaddeus was saying something.
Yeah.
yeah, I
Hold
was
on
just
one
gonna ask, I was gonna ask, we make the recommendation, let's say that they agree, and I think I heard you say that it would, they would be making that suggestion or recommendation or encouraging the superintendent level? Is that the superintendency level? Is that where?
District
this would go?
leadership.
Which includes the superintendents and principals? When you say
District leadership would include like superintendent's direct reports, like myself, Tierney.
Okay,
Um,
okay. And so I guess my next
Then from
question,
us, we would flow down to principals and everybody else.
right, but I'm, at you all's level is where my question is going to be, because it's like, it's gonna be, voluntary, right? And so we would have to have us, maybe the committee, and this is a question. Would we here have like, to identify or have conversations with, like, how do we get a cohort of district level leaders to buy in and become a part of the process?
So what I will be doing, like after today's meeting, for our next district leadership, our leadership meeting, I'll take this forward first to the district leadership to let them know that this is coming to the board. There's nothing bad here, so I don't see. And that's where I want to kind of be clear. I think what our ask is, so I can be clear to the district leadership people. So the superintendent, I mean, it's going to be superintendent, Tierney, a couple others, right? Our communications team to unpack this, because it'll be the first time they're seeing it. That they're going to ask. So to me is that, that district leadership would collaborate with DDC on these recommendations to operationalize them, to bring about kind of what Marcus, scroll up to the beginning, the top again, to bring awareness of the high achievement of Black male students throughout Palm Beach County, provide solutions that will cultivate. That could almost be the recommendation, right? Tweaking.
Yeah. I wonder, Keith, and we don't have to solve it today, but it's just a wondering of mine, because you mentioned like the comm team, the communications team, Tierney, and maybe there are 2 or 3 superintendents. I can think of a couple that were at the presentation that I did that might be interested in being a part of. So maybe it's a small group that is now working to operationalize this in their respective areas. And then the communication team helps us to, make it visible.
Correct. Yeah. Yeah, I think so that's why I don't want to get too in the weeds in the recommendation, that we're not trying to operationalize it in a recommendation, but enough that keeps DDC's role in there to collaborate. Obviously,
Yeah.
a number of you all have the expertise in this space, that and to show the collaboration of external and internal work. And quite frankly, I think comes stronger voice when you did those presentations that you're doing, are extremely strong, right? They come on
right.
and people listen. So
Thank you.
I think the
thank you.
word collaborate, I think the word collaborate needs to be somewhere in the recommendation.
Okay, let's look.
District leadership collaborate with DDC. Am I making sense?
Do we want to put it up at the top? In which case I would like to see the top.
Well, I don't know if that's legal, so, so I'd rather not.
Okay,
So I'm not, with sunshine law, I don't know if we should be talking about what motions might look like, so.
okay.
But you all can ponder that between the next hour. So whoever's gonna make the motion,
Okay.
and as Kim's being the chair, I don't know if Kim can do a motion if she's chairing at that.
Right.
motion.
I don't think so.
So I guess that leaves Marcus and Sandra, you two to ponder.
What's the motion?
Mariana.
I'm sorry, help me again.
There's gonna have to be a motion, right, to the DDC. So
To
that motion-
approve go ahead, tell me what it is.
No, he's not allowed to.
Well, I'm saying, what I'm thinking is gonna have to be something that our recommendation is that the school board and district leadership collaborate with the DDC on these recommendations for successful Black male students to bring awareness to the high academic achievement of Black male students throughout Palm Beach County, and provide solutions that will cultivate and maintain their successes, specifically focused on inclusivity, respect, and empathy.
Okay, where did you get that from? I just want to read exactly what you just said.
So I got a lot of it from Marcus. The last.
Yeah, I want to, okay, so I'll have to grab this document and Kimberly can help me.
Sure.
Got it.
Does that sound like something we would want? Like, does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Mhm.
So I move that these recommendations move forward, and the recommendation will include that the school board and district leadership collaborate with the DDC to bring awareness to the high academic achievement of Black male students throughout Palm Beach County, and provide solutions that will cultivate and maintain their success, specifically focus on inclusivity, respect, and empathy.
Susan, so you can cut and paste when you're taking minutes.
Yeah, thank you. I'm going to have to record that one.
Yeah, I need to.
Can you say that one more time?
That was great. And is that in this document? Because I can't see.
Yeah, the
anything.
top part,
It's at
the
the top, I
a
imagine.
lot of it where Marcus contributed is you can
Ms.
take from
Simmons,
that.
can you scroll up?
It's in the chat too. Can you see the chat?
Chat, thank you.
I took from,
They want you to
Oh, I
scroll
see.
up.
I started with like bring awareness, as part of the.
Bring awareness. Oh, okay, the purpose is to bring awareness and hide it with it.
Scroll up. They want to see the top
Got
part where
it.
you added Marcus's
All
comment.
right.
And then the beginning part is that I move that these
Second paragraph.
recommendations move forward to the school board and district leadership to collaborate with the DDC, then Marcus's part, to bring awareness.
Where's Marcus's part?
I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just.
I know, I
Just bring it
appreciate the coaching.
It's a discussion. We're discussing how we're going to present.
That's right.
At the DDC committee
And I'm
meeting.
getting ready to.
So how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
Bring, I need to print that.
9 recommendations.
Keith, there's still a focus in the district on student voice, right? That's one of the
Oh, yeah.
pillars.
In fact,
Okay.
I got some news on that later. On
Okay.
that grant that you all supported us writing that grant, Stronger
Mhm.
Connections.
Mhm.
It's one of my report outs later.
Oh, I hope
Oh, good. Yeah, I hope it's good news. He's not gonna tell us. It's not gonna tell us.
Make sure you show up. All right. And then, so back to Janina's original question. So if that recommendation goes forward, then I think the 24th you should keep the subcommittee to talk about what the next steps are. Right?
Right.
Got
Now-
that, Janina? Janina?
I just wanted to make sure, is it on now? Okay. There are new mics in here. I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah, of course. I'm going to tell everybody in the subcommittee that I am going to be in California at the time of the board meeting. So if any of the other subcommittee members wants to go and speak to the board at that meeting, I can write something and send it to them. But as Keith said, if they don't read their emails and I'm not there to hand them a hard copy, I'm not sure if they'll get through. So if any one of us wants to go in support of the chair of the greater DEC, that might not hurt.
What, you said that 14th is tell me the date again, I'm sorry.
17.
Oh, the 17th, at what time?
Wait a minute. Where?
Isn't it a Wednesday? Let me see.
17th, Wednesday, 17th. The board meeting starts at 5. Typically, depending on our agenda, the chair will do his report probably around between 5:30 and 6:30.
Okay, and this would be just to give them giving them an overview, or is this just,
I think whatever comments that kind of move you, right? That
okay,
I mean, if you want to urge them to support this and talk about its genesis, or just say, we worked on this, if you have any questions, or I don't know.
but
we can talk, Kimberly, maybe you and I can, yeah,
And then-
okay.
On, except that I can't.
Yeah, so why don't Kimberly, you and I get together prior, just for maybe 20 minutes or so?
We're allowed to do that, right, Keith? Because we're not proposing it to the group. We're just, right? As far as sunshine?
no, because this recommendation is already coming forward. This is already coming forward, so. to the
Okay, so
DEC.
we're just specifying how we're gonna talk to the board. So that's not a,
Right.
okay, just want to
So
clarify.
you could take so typically the chair gets 3 minutes earlier. So I take that back. So the meeting's 5:30, 60 for the chair's part. It'd kind of be like a non-agenda item unless you take some of the time with the chair.
Does he normally take his full amount?
I mean, this will be one of the big pieces in his report, so I think we just work with him. I tend to write up his notes, so we could keep the other parts shorter and you can take, we have, the chair and a member of the subcommittee
Owned by English singer
for the report.
Karen
You could split the time. So you don't have to wait till non-agenda unless you wanted to, and you get your full 3.
We'll discuss that. Sorry about my Alexa. It sometimes scares me when it starts just generally talking.
Yeah, AI.
Do we have,
It's great.
I know. Do we have a motion to adjourn?
Yes, I'll make a motion to adjourn the meeting at 9:15.
Okay,
I'll second.
wonderful. All in favor?
Oh, Mariana's on there. I didn't see it. Sorry.
All opposed? Okay, the motion adjourns the meeting adjourns at 9:15, sorry.
All right, see y'all shortly.
Yeah,
See you
thank you.
soon.